that correct?
Yes.
I think that might come into play here. If he can tell his players, if he can achieve what Synderen said, get his players to mentally reset, and just maybe adjust a few things in their game plan, their draft was good, honestly. I liked it. Maybe we were all wrong on the analyst panel. We were probably all wrong on the analyst panel. That's what usually happens, right? But
it's the panel curse. Welcome to the panel curse.
This is where the coach has influence. In between games, when he can get his team to mentally reset and go into the next game looking more fresh, knowing what they want to do, that's when they're going to have success.
Well, like this, we've got a mix-up of bans this time around as well. Secret didn't like the fact that they had to play against the Crystal Maiden, so they're going to get rid of that, and they get rid of the Monkey as well. FY showed some pretty good form on that.
So the Invokers left this time?
Yeah. And they've gone for a Warlock first pick.
And Invoker Warlock is actually a really good combo. What you want with Warlock is a hero that wins his lane, because Warlock is very good at turning around ganks on a strong hero mid and providing team fight for that hero. He's really good with Shadow Fiend, he's really good with Invoker. You'll find that Warlock struggles a bit more with like Ember if they're going to lose lane, because he can't help him mid at all.
It's interesting to see.
Yeah, they've kind of forced them to say, well, you either take the Invoker or you let us have it.
This they looks like they didn't even think that the Warlock was going to come out at all here, though. Look, they're taking over a minute and a half.
Yeah.
The thing about Warlock as a first pick and just as a hero in general is that it's very one-dimensional, in my opinion. If you think of a hero like Crystal Maiden, for example, it has the global presence of the aura and automatically puts pressures on lanes. It has a ganking ability. It has a teamfight ability. Warlock is very static. He doesn't have any ganking prowess at all. And if the game gets into split push, I feel like Warlock is one of the worst heroes in Dota. Like he does nothing against split push. He's completely useless because he can't play the skirmish type of game. So I think VGJ are taking some time and thinking here, okay, if we can at least force Warlock out of his comfort zone, we already get to play a better game. And I like this approach. It gives them the possibility of having catch through the Legion and the global silence to counter the Warlock's playstyle. So it's a good start.
I saw them also glance at, in between their game, I saw them glance at the IG game, and IG actually had first pick Legion in that game, so that could have been maybe an inspiration toward them a little bit too as well. I like the silencer as well for the, they stopped the counter initiation from the Warlock.
The one thing that's sort of interesting with these teamfight heroes like Warlock is you think, when is this hero going to be the worst in a draft? And you sort of think, oh, it's going to be split push when I can't use my golem to fight. But when he's actually the worst is when you're a teamfight hero and you can't teamfight them.
Yeah.
So something like Silencer Legion can actually achieve that. If they get pick off on the core hero with this global and duel, you might not get to take this teamfight that you're building up your Warlock for.
Yeah.
So we've got an LC and a Silencer to open up things. So quite a lot of Silencer at DAC actually.
More than we would have expected, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of the more surprising heroes.
Well, something Sin was mentioning is that he likes these heroes early in the draft that can go to multiple roles. Silencer is actually a great mid, carry, and support, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's pretty strong. That hero does insane amounts of damage with his pure damage glaze.
I think it's usually It's usually Freeze that plays the Legion, but I know they do have some versatility from it.
Yeah, it
is
Freeze.
Side note on that, by the way, is that in my opinion, Secret probably out of all Western teams is the team that favors Silencer the most. Puppy and Pilot, I have like a man crush for this hero. Yeah. So the fact that they're picking this into Secret shows... I'm a bit surprised that they would pick it, first of all, this early, but also against this team. If any team should know how to deal with Silencer, it should be Secret. But they still took a minute and a half. They were definitely caught off guard by this Silencer pick. I was wondering, after this Warlock pick, like you were saying, it's good with a hero like Shadow Fiend. The problem when you're playing against a hero, Legion and Axe are very special just because of the way Taunt works as a mechanic. So a Legion with Blade Mail can solo kill almost any core in the game. And I think Secret at this point are like, we need a save. We need some sort of counter to duel. And in this case, it's going to be the Snowball that they're trying to work around with. They're still global, though. It's not easy.
It's interesting. They're stealing each other's heroes away. Tusk is an FY hero. We've seen him play. Saw him play at DAC as well.
Puppy hero, too.
And then Silencer, on the other hand, as Synderen pointed out, has been a bit of a puppy favourite recently, as well as Pilot Dice. So they're stealing heroes away from each other at the moment.
Do you think this Tusk is a good pick?
It's early. It's very early.
I'm also against these heroes. I feel like Tusk is not good against Silencer. Just flat out not a good hero. If you're hit by Last Word, unless that got changed, if you're Last Word and you Snowball, you can't roll. You're actually silenced in your ball.
Really?
And at the same time, if you Snowball anyone in, like you can't really use Snowball aggressively because you're against Global Silence. You can get counterplayed very easily. If
So
you
they're gonna
pick it
use
as a save against duel, it's under the condition that global isn't coming out at the same time, because then you can't even snowball. So I feel like maybe they want to itemize, so they're hoping that he can get Greaves or Lotus.
Lotus, yeah.
And then that can be their save, but it's a save that costs 4k gold, and you need to get there first. So it's a bit tricky, I think. Do you think it's a support Tusk or off lane?
That's what I was about to ask you. I was
If it's
thinking maybe
off-lane,
it
then
could be an
you
off
It'd be
lane.
very odd if it was offlane.
If you play it offlane, it will get the item that you want it for in this game. It kind of guarantees that he will farm a Lotus, at least. I've seen some players in EU lately. Obviously, this is just in public games, so we don't really see Tusk played that much in competitive in general. But it has been experimented with in offlane and in publics at least, so I know if Secret have been inspired by that. Maybe they're just keeping their options open. I mean, thinking they can.
It is a hero
we
like
need more
that can go
information.
multiple roles
Yeah.
in that sense. Something I'm curious about actually is that we haven't seen Magnus at all. And VCJ tend to run Magnus with their Legion Commander mid. It's what makes their mid Legion Commander work. So I'm curious if we're going to see that hero. I mean, that hero went from first pick easily at DAC.
To nowhere
He got
by the end of it.
30 mana nerf. It's gone.
Yeah.
So curious
Done.
what's going to happen with that.
We're going to get an Earth Spirit out. I haven't seen one of those in the first game either, which is interesting. So, Earth Spirit is the third pick. It's also interesting that they decided they didn't like the Shadow theme. Wasn't a first phase ban, but has been wiped away.
Appropriate.
And they're going to leave the IO here, probably because like with Secret showing this, they're thinking, okay, even if this is an offlane Tusk, these are not good heroes to play IO for, realistically. So. Oh,
They go for the Centaur.
Back for the center.
Oh, it is a classic combo. It's snowball into stomp.
yeah. We've seen apparently mid one plays a lot of Centaur,
Yeah.
so definitely go for it here. Offlane Tusk, mid Centaur.
How's mid Centaur versus Legion
Very
Commander?
quick 20-minute
Not
loss.
good.
Not so good. Because Centaur got the armor reduction previous at 7.03.
Is that what happened to
The
him?
base armor. Yeah, I
Okay.
looked it up before. I was trying to remember what it was. And then now Tranquil Boots don't give you armor as well.
The Lina.
So
Was Lina banned last game?
It was.
it was
Okay.
banned.
Yeah,
Second
second
phase?
phase.
Second
Yeah.
phase. All right. So
Not
it looks
this
like it's
time
just
around.
an offlane Legion Commander. We
Yeah.
won't be seeing that Magnus with it.
And Freeze always looked a lot more comfortable on Lena when we saw him at DSC.
I think Freeze is a very good magical damage core player.
Yeah.
I think that's where he excels. Before it was like magical damage plus Alchemist, but thank
no.
you, dear Lord Ice Frog. I will say something about Tusker though. That hero provides amazing teamfight utility, and the one thing he lacks is damage. So Warlock and Centaur are actually decently high damage heroes, especially early game. You have Fatal Bonds and you have Double White.
Ooh. Lycan gets picked up. So he got buffed previously as well. So he
Yeah.
gets the new
His-
talent. His level 10 is 200 health.
Yeah.
And he gets higher crit on his
His
shapeshift.
crit is insane.
Yeah.
He does a lot of damage.
What do you think is the build? Because I've seen a lot of people been like trying, like, I saw people doing Midas, didn't really like it. I saw people doing the Vlads, it was okay. And now I saw some people doing like this like Desolator builds and Echo Saber builds.
I like the Echo Dessa build.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Like sometimes Armlet maybe, but I think the crit buffs Necrobuck a bit, but it's still, it feels bad to buy this item on a one position hero right now. It does not do that much damage, it feels like. Nerfed against towers, who's not like the same pusher. Lycan is actually one of the best heroes in the game against Silencer. Generally how you counter Silencer is you need vision on him. If you can jump a Silencer team and he has a global defensively, that hero does not feel as strong as when they jump you and they pop the global. Because the defensive global is just, you're spending that entire time like running away or repositioning.
Ooh.
Well, they let it through, and they've taken it.
Last pick Invoker.
Do you think, in my mind, Legion should be a pretty good hero against Lycan in all stages of the game, though? Like, both in the lane, the Wolves can't really do anything. If Lycan tries to take a man fight and go for it, I think the common build right now is that you max the second and third spell before Wolves, and you get them later to just scout. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good Legion game, to be honest. Just from a laning perspective, Secret's heroes aren't the best. Even Warlock's Shadow Word can be purged off by press the attack, so I think he has really great sustain here on the Legion Commander. And later on, Blink Blade Mail, if Lycan goes for a physical damage build, he kills himself.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because if Vici get a way to give this Lifesteal a head start, he's going to dominate his lane. That'll open up the Vici supports to do anything they want. They rotate to the Legion's lane. Tuskar Warlock is low damage until the ultis come out.
Yeah.
And Lycan's, he's pretty bad in lane.
Lycan's weak.
Weak
just
in
flat
lane.
out weak.
He might be
in
the
lane.
worst carry in lane.
Okay,
It's
let's,
really
let's get quick predictions for you then for game 2. Which way are you going?
Who do we want to win? Then we take the other one.
You can't cheat the system.
Secret
I
got
feel like this one's
comfort.
closer.
Yeah, I like Secret got them comfort. I mean, they've got mid one Invoker.
All right.
Like,
Syndren, prediction?
VGJ, let's go for the
Howie.
0-2 prediction.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wrong
Sorry.
twice.
I'm
go
going
Vici.
Secret. I actually favor Vici's J's draft just a tiny bit, but I thought Secret played fantastic last game. Vici J looked a bit shaky.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Secret as well.
Secret as well?
Yep.
Hey, we can't all be wrong now.
That's true. That's a bonus
Go
of the expert analysis desk that got it completely and hopelessly wrong in game one. Let's find out who gets it right in game two and whether Secret advance on with a 2-0 win in their opening match of the Kiev Major.
You know what? I'm just going to ask the best Oracle. Ben, who wins?
Me? What?
Yeah.
I don't even know who I thought was going to win last game.
Really?
It's hard, dude. Because just haven't seen too much from Secret. Like, Lycan? What?
Yeah, I'm still wondering too. Like after game number 1, do we say, hey, Team Secret in fantastic form? It's just one game so far out this entire series, and there were definitely a lot of hiccups in VGJ's like play style throughout
You
the game.
can't put too much in one game, especially because I think VGJ just didn't do anything all game.
Yeah,
It's one of those games like
It
we
felt
could have done a
odd.
lot more. It wasn't. I do not think it was a drafting issue for VGJ last game. Anyways, you go on for 1 minute while I.
you do your things. Well, everyone's at least able to have a quick look over towards Roshan. So RTK on the Legion Commander, a hero which, like, I think every single analyst who's here at the event has been saying this is going to be the hero. And Sim was saying, like, up against Lycan should be really good. So is it really that difficult to Blink, Blade, Mail, and Duel to win? Like, is that the execution we now look to see out from RTK? Because
Oh,
it
is
looks
not-
very, very straightforward.
It is not that straightforward. Warlock is really, really strong. Yeah, they do have the silencer to combo with the duel, but you're using your big 2 teamfight ultimates to maybe secure 1 kill. Like, what do they have? Like, if they have a Solar Crest, I think it's really, really good versus sort of combination, especially good versus the Lifestealer. You have the Rock, you have Fatal Bonds. If you're dueling, you can't purge off the Fatal Bonds. It's pretty scary to actually duel here.
Paradise being pushed back out again, and that's going to be pretty standard lane. So aggressive down the bottom, up against Kzeus, the Lifestealer versus Centaur. This Silencer plus Legion Commander dual off lane. Should be having some decent fun times, and we'll see just how well Pilot Eye is able to do on this Warlock. Normally one of the best heroes for harassing out the lanes. And then towards the mid, goodbye to Vision for mid 1, hello for Vision for VGJ, and a really nice lane for Freeze. Would be a little bit nicer if FY was able to connect with a rolling boulder. But as Fuck was saying, we want to see him on magical damage style heroes, exactly like the Lina.
Mid one's block is a little bit better. Oh, Freeze actually going for the Light Strike Roy level 1. This is actually pretty uncommon. You'll usually see a 2-0-1 build, just so you can... The thing about Light Strike Roy is the radius is just way too small to actually win the lane. You want to get the CS and the harass with the Slave at once, but top lane just a little bit of harass going on. Mid lane a little bit too, but here he has a Self, should be good. Didn't pop during Oof, all is good.
I'm still wondering how this top lane is meant to function for Team Secret. Like, they go sustain behind them, but Fenrir and RTK is just like the perfect frontline tank. Poppy wants to do the pull, but yeah, now he's going to realize it's blocked, so he'll be able to de-ward that Observer Ward out. So that's a small advantage for him.
It's still a minute and a half before he can really do anything in that pull situation, though. I guess he can consider pulling the sides, but the thing about pulling against LC is not that great.
Poppy actually has to boulder. Damn, that overwhelming odds connecting on 3 heroes. RTK just runs away.
Fenrir is making them work for this lane, though. Lycan, he is... I would definitely agree with the panel that he is just not strong in lane. His wolves die super easily. Howl is like a really long cooldown, and he just doesn't really offer too much.
But what do you really do? Like, you're not going to push, like, MP just has to tough it out.
Wait till nighttime. Nighttime's a little bit better for him.
So they could always just send him jungle. You have one of the people who used to actually run that Poppy running Lycan jungle, but that was a very old time. Poppy's on the run. Orb of Venom's making life very difficult against FY. And Freeze is nearby, but not close enough to actually do damage.
It's pretty interesting that they put FY on the Earth Spirit and Fenrir on the Silencer, because usually it's, I would say, swapped, especially because you usually give a lot more farm to your Silencer this game. But I think because maybe they wanted to put him in the offlane and realize that he's not going to be able to pull, he's not going to be getting a lot of levels, he's not going to be farming a lot, that it's better to relegate him to the 5 and have maybe get like an early blink up on the Earth Spirit to cause some trouble.
Man, mid one needs some help right now. The kick comes through from FY, rolling boulder as well, and Freeze. The perfect line strike array, another advantage of having that early on.
Yeah.
If FY can connect, you know you've got the control.
And I think FY is also just much better on the roaming heroes. He's just better way better at getting kills than FY, and FY I think is, or Fenrir is much better at like defending and stabilizing lanes. Ooh, early stick on mid one. Usually you'll see like a raindrop, I think, if you're a little bit scared. You try and get away with Midas as fast as possible on Evoker, but sometimes when you're in a tough matchup like versus Lina, you have to go for some defensive items. But
Even before he finishes his boost, he's just put Magic Wand in his quick buy.
Yeah, I am surprised to see that though over the raindrops though, because once he's level 6, you don't have to worry about dying all the time, especially with the Earth Spirit in the game. And when level 6 is usually nighttime too, so he doesn't have any vision in that area.
How's the bottom lane looking? That's one lane we haven't really talked about. Keizu is a bandit just to do his little farming with Iron Talon, but he's managed to hit 4 levels in 4 minutes. But aggressive. Not number 1, but he's not far off it in the CS. It's a lot of free space for this lifestealer. And then we start asking like timings. Like, is it still that roaming of the Earth Spirit? Do you infest into a combination? Mid 1's probably getting initiated on in a second. FY is seeing him so low. But that's deep under a tower if he goes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's not gonna be the easiest kill for him.
Not yet. Rolling boulder. Oh, he misses the target. Tries to go for the kick a little bit blind with the cold snap. Snowball's going to come in. Sunstrike. Oh, no! The shards from Puppey pushes him out of range of the Sunstrike, and now Puppey's in trouble. Freeze standing its ground with that level 2 slave up. He's just able to bring down the Tusker.
That looks so improbable that would happen right there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Huh.
One too many igloo blocks.
Like the way it looked like it casted, though, it looked like almost no possible way. Like if I were Puppey right there, I'd be like flabbergasted that happened. Wow. Huh.
That was going to be a guaranteed kill for Team Secret. That would have been a big one for mid one. Would have pushed him a lot closer to completing up his Hand of Midas.
At least mid one didn't die though. He was close to just getting comboed by the Lina after the stone. But he's been playing pretty safe. I like his positioning in the lane.
And RTK's itching on the top lane with Fenrir. Pilot Eye is doing the pull, but RTK doesn't have duel just yet, but with the high movement speed, thanks to his phase boots, Fenrir, let off everything he's got. Pilot Eye, the Shadow Word's giving him just enough life to potentially survive. Back onto the tier 2 tower. Pilot Eye is so low. They've come in deep for this one. And MP, what do you really do against this? You shard forward and you block in Fenrir. With the walls, with MP, maybe with a stun forward. F5, the space, the Sunstrike from mid one. It'll be able to connect. And MP making a break for the tree line. Needs to stay hidden. RTK doesn't have anything else to really fight with yet. He doesn't have the mana for it. And Warlock will arrive again to heal up MP. Get them back into the lane.
MP's just not well suited for this lane at all with the Wolves. Like the Wolves you don't really want to put on ROTK because he's just going to proc extra attacks. But then you just let this LC just run all over you in lane. So he doesn't really have a good option as to
they're going again top lane, rolling boulder forward right on top of MP. The kick is perfect. Connecting onto MP. He'll go down, +2 for Fenrir. In fact, it's up to 4 now on Pilot Eye under the tower. RTK is more than tanky enough to go in for it. In fact, it's going to be Fenrir as that silencer who picks up the double kill on the offlane.
Whew, at least Pilot Eye bought his boots. He was about to be a 0-item Warlock. Now he's a 1-item Warlock. Nice. Poor guy.
And MP's doing the other thing he can do. Jungle, jungle, jungle. But Fenrir's timing. He's coming in for the aggressive Observer and Sentry. Doesn't see in deep enough to see MP farming. But they'll know the second he comes back into the lane.
But then you're just getting ROTK as free items. Like, this is not a really good game for them to deal with the LC. Like, LC's going to be pretty far in this game. He hasn't even had any dual damage under her belt.
No, not yet. Pilot Eye has been the man tasked to hold the top lane. He's got boots only. At least the movement speed is going to allow him to run a little bit faster away from the Legion.
Yeah, but in this case, like, you're not okay with the supports constantly
Rolling ball.
dying.
Ah, it's going to miss from FY. They still want to go in deeper, and they force a TP out. Puppey will end up cancelling it. He wasn't that far away, and they know exactly what's going on. Again, that one Radiant Observer Ward is seeing Puppey and MP farming in the jungle. And Freeze doesn't find his target. Looks like he's also going to go in after the double null talismans into a Yule Scepter on this Lina.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Smoke gank onto Freeze may not be exactly what they want either. Did anyone bring detection? Because he just picked up an Invis rune.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah, I
is
think
under
they see
attack.
that and immediately bounce. Cold snap into Snowball should be a kill for them. ROTK trying to find any stragglers.
Did Fenris see it? The ping's coming out. He knows the Wolves are on top, but the bounty rune got taken underneath the Observer Ward. So rolling boulder over. Fenrir in the trees. Wants to get out of this one, but it won't be possible. Quick kill for MP. Now they move over to RTK. Quick press the attack. Phase boots on cooldown for half a second. He's actually turning to try and fight this with the support of Aggressive, who's rotated up. FY needs the rolling boulder kick to find the target, and MP is going to be it. The kick won't connect over on Puppey, bringing the Sigil out, slow everything down. You can, but with Laguna Blade from Freeze, the damage is enough. The Sunstrike looking for its target, but RTK, he stuck around just a little bit longer, so Sunstrike never connected, and it's Puppey trying to stay in the trees before Freeze and FY are able to connect on him. And with the Light Strike array, Puppey is locked in position and brought down.
His TP was almost up, but not quite. And it looks like Aggressive's first rotation should yield them the T1 up on top. Mid one trying to desperately respond with something in the mid lane, but they really need levels. They were able to make that dive because Warlock is not level 6. They need to find some space for him to pull, for him to jungle, maybe even share XP with some of the cores that are farming up the jungle, but his level 6 is priority. I would definitely say that he gets a tone over anyone else come 10 minutes.
Well, they were trying to give it to him on the top lane before. That's why MP went jungle.
As soon as it hits daytime, though, you can't just sit back. When it was nighttime, he can just sit in the fog just right outside of the range of the vision of the creeps and be okay. But as soon as it's daytime, he's just dead, and that's before duel. Now that he has duel, he just has no place to be up there.
Freeze is looking for his next target. Laguna Blade just comes off cooldown. Has just enough mana, but then Snowball forward. Freeze caught out. The Light Strike array connects on 3. The Sunstrike, the damage is good on Freeze, but FY can't create enough space. All he's going to do, or maybe he can. Aggressive comes in from behind. Keizu is just food to him. So it's a 1-for-1 trade off the Earth Spirit for the Centaur. As MP wants to go a little bit further out, yeah, he'll be able to escape.
Damn, FY with that. Oh my goodness.
The stuns.
Yeah.
See, this is why Tidehunter is no longer picked.
Yeah,
They just got better.
Oh man, yeah, that was pretty beautiful by FY setting that up. They didn't even lose the Lina. So I wonder what talent Freeze is going to take at level 15 now that it's actually a tough decision. I'm not even sure what he's going to take at 10.
What if he goes for the Smail?
Yeah, I mean, he'll most likely take. I usually see
bottom
Light
lane.
Strike
Pilot
array.
Eye. It's just not his day. The duel is the first one, and we have ourselves a winner. It's RTK. Pushes him closer towards that Blink Dagger.
Only double-digit victories.
Dire's
ROTK
bottom tower is under attack.
should be ashamed. I think I've seen like a lot of people with like 1,000 victories. I'm like, how often do you have to play?
That's because RTK
That's
don't play no
ridiculous.
pubs. Like, he doesn't care about MMR.
Well, I think like a lot of times they play like lobby games, like
Yeah.
CDK houses and stuff, so you don't get counters on that.
Yeah.
So that's slightly, it's not that great for him. What about leveling up the Arcanas? What if you want to unlock like the Juggernaut one? You have to play pubs, Toby, pubs, instead of in-houses.
Smoke maneuver from VGJ. Freeze, FY, and Fenrir together. Yeah, trigger the shrine quickly, but their target is mid one. Looking towards that Invoker. So FY, a lot of pressure on him to hit that rolling boulder. Thanks to the Observe Ward they have, it's only got 3 more seconds left on it, and that's not a lot of time when mid one moves back behind the tower. So they need to plant down a fresh one. Oh no, they planted down 2 right on top of each other. It's the same as game 1, and mid one. Okay, no. Stampede. Let's say almost a haste rune.
He didn't stun there. I don't know if it would have been a kill with a stun anyways, but that was really, really nice by Secret, dodging that gank. I think Kizu was extremely quick with that Stampede. They were probably expecting a Smoking, but it was still pretty nice. They could have used Global if they really wanted to, but
Puppy, rolling boulder, the Wolves. Oh no, he didn't again, Puppy! Oh, come on, give this man some level of a break. Pushes himself down because the snowball doesn't take him up high ground, and then the shards actually pushing VGJ's heroes away. Mid tower will fall, open wounds, over on the center with the global silence. There's just no way to escape. They push themselves into this engagement without having the Stampede available. VGJ knew they had a kill.
ROTK was not scouted out by any of his ever ward. I think he is going to be able to.
Can he duel? Ooh. He's so close to mid one.
Ooh, that was really adventurous by him. Like he blinked up the hill knowing that there wouldn't be any vision, but then he had just to walk up for the duel. They
It's
don't
that
get a
counter
kill.
that you're
they do
worried
get a
about,
tower.
right? Like you want to go on the Invoker, but Snowball's going to stop you.
Well, you just need to be able to find them, right? Like it's okay because I think he does snowball to counter duel. They lose 2 heroes because Freeze will just stun afterwards and both of them will die. So I think you're worried about just being able to catch them at all. Now duel's still off cooldown and he's just not going to be able to find anyone.
Well, the panel was tossing around with what the build was going to be over on the Like, and the Desolator after Armlet was one of the choices. Instead, it's going to be a Mask of Madness after actually going for the Armlet.
Oh, Mask of Madness is
the Lycan.
actually a pretty good choice. I guess it doesn't really help against duel, but it does help against pretty much everything else. Even like doing a lot of damage versus Lifestealer, doing Roshan. Haven't really seen too much Mask though.
FY run away. Mid one, the vision's there. The Cold Snap will connect. FY cannot escape. There is TP support coming in. It's aggressive, but still the Wolves finish the job on FY.
He's been doing it fantastic. Scouting with the Wolves all game long is kind of just what you need to do.
They're looking for a big fight on bottom lane. You start with the upheaval. Pilot Eye has the rock, and you can see Team Secret, the second Pilot Eye hit that level 6, they want to try and fight aggressive with the Rage. He doesn't know Keizu's there, getting body blocked up a little bit. Now the Sentry Water's down, they understand it, and the charge forward. The Shards will hold aggressive down, the rock will hit. They're stun over on 2, aggressive, able to dodge it thanks to the Infest, but cannot dodge the Cold Snap. As Team Secret, Puppy, not a healthy man, wants to TP out. He'll actually survive. No, the duel! RTK blinks in, takes out the captain of Team Secret, and is looking for more. It's got no more control available, however, so Team Secret will bail out.
ROTK, that was a tough call for him. Like, do you get close enough to the Lifestealer so that he can infest you and then you can blink out? Or do you wait for a better initiation so you want more dual damage, but you sacrifice your Lifestealer? That's a really hard call. And he went with the I'm not a bro route and just left aggressive literally to the Wolves.
He's a brawler, not a bro.
Yeah. But he could have been both.
Kezu, rolling boulder forward. The silence is absolutely perfect, but the Fatal Bond's connected. But the 3 kick is there from FY once again. Snowball has to be used by Puppy to protect him. Sunstrike right in the mark. It's going to connect over on Freeze. FY, not a healthy man either, but Fenrir standing on the back line is doing the damage. FY, 22 HP. He can't rolling boulder away. The Wolves were there to do the damage, but now it's Puppy who's going to go down. Fenrir claiming his 4th kill of the game. He only ever does it in 2s, and Aggressive is looking for more as well. Under the tower, there's no mana. RTK can't duel. Now these Fatal Bonds up to the creep wave and getting Cold Snap down. No way for him to survive in too deep, and it's mid one who'll take the killing spree from him for 322 gold.
LC's actually not that far for the status that I thought she would be in. She was 3-0 and 3 up until that point, but he really only has like phase boots and blink and just hasn't been able to.
He needs to finish the blade mail.
Yeah, he really needs blade mail. He also needed more mana at that point, more so than, I mean, if he had the robe, perhaps he would have been able to cast a duel right then. But Invoker is big. Mid one is almost in the same place as he was net worth-wise compared to the last game where he was S7 dominated. This time he is Midas and he is Invoker. He got past the tough part of the game, which was laning versus Lina ES. And now that he almost has Scepter, he is going to be destroying them. And yeah, he kind of has to worry about Silencer, but aside from that, he really doesn't have to worry about anything. as long as Tusk is really quick with the snowballs. Like they have to blow a lot of spells to try and deal with the Tusk. Like they even got a really nice stun chain on the Tusk because he was trying to snowball the Centaur to save him, and they actually stunned the Tusk as he was coming in. But I think like later on in the fights and when he has like a blink dagger, like when do you actually global if you're Fenrir team?
It's Infest gank time.
Yep,
The sentry was down, so even if mid one wants to go inside a Ghost Walk, it won't happen. And it's just Infest, jump, the duel, and mid one, no way to survive that. Even a global silence just in case.
they expected like 3-4 Petros behind them, but
Well, mid one was very aggressively pushed out.
oh yeah, oh definitely. That's because he was
It looked wrong.
he was really close to a scepter. You know, you get that greed. You're like, oh man, I almost have it. I almost have it. I just one piece away. And then you're like, oh wait, I just delayed myself another 2 minutes. And his Midas was off cooldown, or really close to it. Sad times.
Can't Midas, can't farm. And this is all allow aggressive to close the distance.
We haven't seen as many Midases as I would have expected too. There's only one in this game. 1 out of 10 heroes.
And that's on the
Dire's
Invoker.
bottom tower is under attack.
Like the skill from Freeze.
Problem as a core when you're dealing with a Blade Mail LC is like, do I build damage and just kill myself on Blade Mail, or do I build no damage and survivability and just do no damage in team fights at all and probably still die in the duel? So it's kind of a nice mix, I would say, having the attack speed and the lifesteal, and he can also farm with it and power farm, although I'm not necessarily sure that you need it with the regen from Feral Impulse.
Using it all now to farm for the moment. FY is being stalked by the Wolves. So he tries to find the money for his Blink Dagger. He's just a little bit short of it at the moment. Gonna Rolling Boulder out and actually not join the rest of his team. The rest of his team is grouping up around the mid lane. No smokes on any of these players, but aggressive. This is what he wants to do. Desolator is completed, and he moves inside the pip. At the same time, Team Secret are reading exactly the same play. The Lycan Wolves are coming over now. They don't have any Observer Wars looking around the pit, but they do find aggressive.
They need to smoke if they want to make this fight happen. They actually might need a gem soon, but I don't think they're in the economic position to do so.
RTK wants to jump. That Observer Wall doesn't see enough. They go for the silence over on K2. There's your jump forward. It's going to be Puppey is the one brought down by the Infest combo, but Lycan running forward. Mask Command is tricked, takes so much damage. Freeze the Sunstrike. He'll connect with the Rocket Thunder bonds together. VGJ, their fates are tied, but for how long? They'll back out as far as they can, back into the fight. MP, not a healthy man. FY can't do enough damage to bring Lycan into that critical place, or maybe he can. The Magnetize armlet toggle through and then in range of the Shrine. So 1-for-1 trade-off. Keizu jumping forward. He has to create space for Pilot Eye to survive as Fenrir couldn't get the last glaive in, so he'll fall for it as well. MP with a double kill. The Ice Wall, VGJ, they just can't run. They're forced to stay in their ground, but Freeze needs to do the damage from the side. Aggressive will finally go down. MP with a triple kill.
Oh
they can
my
turn their attention
God.
towards the Lina, but the double light strike array, it will be enough. Just keep running, Freeze. The Laguna play, but it's not enough. Mid one pushes him back with a deafening blast. He'll find the kill, and it is all-out war. It was a 5-4 trade-off in that fight, and we're not done yet. FY, I can't get in range of mid one. Mid one's out. He's home. He's hosed.
I think that was the best individual play I've seen MP make. That was disgustingly good how he went in, and it looked like suicide for him. But as Global Silence was wearing off, and he's more than hasted, he just cut really quickly to the southeast as his team followed up with the big rock, with the big fatal bonds, and then he armlet toggled like 3 things only to die to the light striker right at the end. But that was, oh my god, that was good.
Wonderful Dota. Keeping it level, 22 minutes in. 19-14 kills galore. It's not done yet. The double damage rune Aggressive's able to find. So they look back towards Roshan. Fenrir, that's a nice advantage going into it. A quick sentry ward, de-warding of that secret ops. So the Sunstrike connects on Freeze. They know what's going on, but the question is, can they do anything about it? The Observer Ward scouted MP moving in, but Roshan's dropping so quickly. Thanks to that double damage room, Team Secret won't get there in time. The Sigil is being a pain in the butt, but VGJ, they still own Roshan, and it's Aggressive who will hold on to the Aegis.
No Echo Saber on the Lifestealer.
Radiant's bottom
Personal
tower
choice, I
is
suppose.
under attack.
Pretty. It's not, but
Radiant
I don't think it's that
structures
great
are
versus the Lycan because he's going to be perma-hasted, so that might factor into his decision a little bit. Yeah, respawn time taken by Lina. She probably is going to be dying a lot, but at the same time, that means you're not going to have any long-range artillery. You're going to have to rely on a lot on your melee heroes, which isn't going to be easy. You have to deal with Stampede, you have to deal with Upheaval, you have to deal with Hasted Lycan.
Oh, freeze,
Ice
freeze,
Wall. Oh.
freeze. The Sunstrike's there. FY tries to create space, actually helps tanking up the Sunstrike and sacrifices himself for the greater good.
Uh-oh, they can't
That's
deal with this
MP's
wolf.
ulti as well going off for this.
It's not that long of a cooldown for him, but he can kind of just run around and do what he wants. If I think, do they have to duel him to lock him in place? I think it's the only way they can really kill him. I don't know. It's not looking good in terms of wolf control here. That's before BKB. He can just run at the silencer. What is the silencer supposed to do versus this menace?
Rely on his
Radiant's top
teammates.
tower is under attack.
So Lina moves to the top, same with Aggressive. Still trying to finish up that Assault Cuirass he's got in his quick buy. And poor Freeze as well. Gets the Bloodstone, now down to 7 charges on that. This isn't the dream, and you can see the defensive item as well for Silencer. Got that Ghost Scepter in quick buy.
Yeah,
That's his only way to stop the attack.
Yep. I guess alternatives are like, what, 4 staff, which only saves you temporarily. I guess Ghost Scepter is a little bit longer of a save. Alternatively, you can go Shadow Blade, but he's not in any position to buy that item.
FY is doing the same thing. And with the double Ghost Scepters on your supports, it will force like that situation where MP can't just run in and instantly get a kill. Pylai die, blink up RTK. He actually starts with the overwhelming odds and then gets the dual wind damage. So plus 58 now into RTK. Remember the plus 2 onto Sansa as well. He's sitting at 18 positive at the moment.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And the trade-off will be the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. But that trade-off is easy when Freeze takes the top.
It's actually pretty important that they kill Pilot Eye because he's the one that's actually building anti-global silence. He's the only person on the Dire side going for...
There aren't TP scrolls. Like,
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
still no one deep. What is happening here?
they're missing a lot of TP scrolls, and the Infest will allow at least Lifesteal to come down. And you've got Legion Commander as well. There's no duel for 8 seconds. The Stampede, MP's in the trees, freeze! Oh, they'll find him. That's one way to kill off the Lycan. That maybe not essential. If they waited 3 seconds, they would have had dual damage again from killing off the Lycan.
It's just instinct to kill really quickly, though.
Kill him and move on.
Yep. You got to maximize your damage in team fights, but
Maximize your damage by getting more.
well, they thought it might have potentially been more. Kind of like how they overcommitted with the global on bottom. You just expect more heroes to be there because generally that's, you know, you don't get free pickups like that very often.
It does show the problem of VGJ with what happens on bottom lane. Like, you take a little bit too long to get down there, and Team Secret have really good tower kill. Like, that tier 3 tower fell very, very quickly before VGJ could do anything about it.
Yeah, they were just busy trying to pressure T2s, I suppose, but now their Shrines are vulnerable, and that is definitely not good when you want to stop Invoker from getting Roche. He went Lincoln's on Invoker, so there's still no way to deal with Global, but it is really, really good versus Duel, which is mainly what is going to be picked off by Legion Commander. The very common counter is to get Halberd, so you can proc the Lincolns before, but he still has to get his BKB first. So anti-global measures on Secret side. It looks like 2 Lotus Orbs are being built, 1 on Pilot Eye, he's prioritizing that over any other item, and 1 on Centaur, who's prioritizing that over an Ag Scepter, let's say. But, you know, Ags has been nerfed a few times, and it is going to help them a decent amount, but I would say the Warlock one is even more important. If I were Centaur, I think you actually cast a Lotus on your Warlock, so he can drop the rock during duel.
Those Wolves. They scouted out Freeze, the Sentry Ward was down, and thanks to the Wolves being there, RTK barely missing it. The
That's a whip.
guesstimation is right on point for VGJ. They have the Observe Ward in the lane. That's what they knew he didn't escape. And maybe top lane, the silence is out, but where's the vision? They don't have it. Mid one just able to scuttle himself away, back deeper into his own jungle. And VGJ miss out and yet again another initiation.
Whew, he was way too quick on the Ghost Walk there. I think you might actually just like preemptively silence at that point, because if you silence, he can just walk back. He can't blink out, which is normally what you're afraid of for a global silence. But because they casted it too late, FY was unable to get that gank off.
They're bringing Dust this time. FY has got his Dust up and running. MP taking out the Shrine. Mid one's there to support it. Big advantage of taking up that tier 3 tower in bottom lane.
Gold for me.
Yeah, this is still pretty tight. VGJ,
Money to burn.
I don't really know if they're going to win the next team fight, though. It's going to come down to a lot of like really nice Lotus Orb usage. Centaur has his completed right now. The timing of, I guess, Global Silence, which isn't up right now. Are they going to catch aggressive?
That's a big one. If they can kill him off, the Sunstrike's on the mark. Aggressive. Can he toggle his way back up the hill? The silence is there for the Deafening Blast from mid one. It'll help connect. It was Paladai that found the kill. Puppey will trade his life for it. Remember, they did commit the rock to go for this fight, as now you look for that Legion, the jump, and he can't do it, not while he's being cold snapped up, but his bottom lane is the distraction game. MP pushing in through the bottom, looking for that melee racks. FY wants the kick, but he can't stop it. The duel will begin. That'll keep MP off it. If he can only just do enough work, MP will end up falling. The melee racks is still alive for the moment. The mid one will be able to finish the job.
MP won that duel.
Sunstrike! Oh, Fenrir. So close. Freeze as well just has to hide inside the base. Team Secret, they've ravaged the bottom, and they're moving towards the mid now.
Dude, everyone just leaves aggressive stranded. He was raged for like 3 seconds trying to walk back to his base, and no one is there to infest. Like, where is the teamwork coming out from VGJ? This is not the same team that we saw a couple months ago.
Yeah, there's definitely some problems in their first series of the day. And with this format, problems can drop you down. No way to get the top seeds if you lose even a single game.
Like, their main problem right now is their melee's getting, or is aggressive getting kited, or just initiated on like that fight because they didn't have global silence. But they have to enable the life
This will be
stealer.
nice. Freeze, Light Strike Array connects, Laguna Blade, quick, simple pick off over on Puppey. And he needs to create space for the rest of his team now.
Yeah, it's just incredibly difficult, though, when they had to blow global silence like that to try and go for a kill, and then you lose so much with just one small mistake there. Roshan going to be up very, very soon. VGJ, they just cannot let that go. You might like win a duel in exchange for an Aegis, but that's not going to be worth it because you're still going to lose a team fight. Like, they don't really have any punch after a duel. It's like, oh, okay, duel, and then you're dead, and your whole team's dead, and your buildings are dead. So yeah, that's
a lot of issues you're talking about. Right there.
if aggressive can right-click people, I think they will win the fight. That is the issue, though. Like, if you can blink duel like the Warlock even. I think if you blink the duel the Warlock, you might not even have to... actually, yeah, you would still have to blow goal at the start of the fight. But
Still going to be very deep in the lines to reach Pilot.
Yeah, but I think if you just drop him early on in the fight, he does not have the respawn time talent yet, and even if he did, he'd be level 20 at that point, so he's not gonna be able to come back that quickly. But if you wait for Lotus 1, Lotus 2, Global Silence is useless, and then you just have like 4 heroes that do some stuff.
He wants this. He really wants this, and he really should not want this. Legion Commander is waiting nearby. With that halberd available, he can trigger off the Lincoln Sphere. So they go with one. Here goes your trigger. Into the duel. Support is there from Keizu. It's RTK who's losing his life. Support is there. The Global Silence. RTK can't run. The Ice Wall will hold him in position. So RTK's down. 50 seconds. He'll lose the Silencer as well. Both down with no respawns available. That is a second lane of racks. And Freeze can nudge him the top lane all he wants, but, well, that ain't going to happen. Not when the snowball comes in very deep from Puppey. A little bit too deep going on to FY. So he'll die at the tower, but it's more space creation. Mid-melee racks will fall. They TP up towards the top. Freeze couldn't do enough work in time. And mid one with no cold snap available. Freeze. Quick run away under the cover of Shadow Blade.
Did a fair amount of structural damage, but VGJ, they just have not made very good use of the first pick Legion. I think like ROTK is just perhaps out of his comfort zone with these couple of heroes that we've seen, because he's not known for his LC, he's not known for his Omni Knight, he's like his Magnus I think is like incredibly good, and there's a lot of heroes in this patch that I think he's a little bit better on, but in this game, like even that last fight, he didn't pop his Blade Mail before. Not that it would have made that big a difference, but like for a lot of LC players, it's just automatic. Yeah, I'm gonna pop, press the attack, you know, blink, Blade Mail, BKB, everything right before you go in a duel, because you can't do anything after you duel. But he wasn't able to do that, and wasn't even close to taking down the Invoker during that fight.
Well, VGJ, they know they have to do this, but Team Secret, Smoke Up, Rock is available, the Lotuses are available as well, everything's available.
Yeah, I just don't think you really have a choice right now. Like, the net worth graph is not that bad right now. It's only 5,000-ish in favor, but like...
Oh, jump, half stomp, perfect target is over on Aggressive, but Aggressive, the shards again pushing him out of range. He'll toggle it out, the Rock will fall. Not really perfect on the hits, but Aggressive cannot outrun MP. RTK actually jumped into the middle of it. He allowed for the Infest escape, but Keizu still hopping the tail. They're gonna lose everybody here. VGJ trying to stand their ground, but MP comes back to just munch on the bones that is the corpses of VGJ. Even Gems of True Sight's being dropped. Invoker is on the run. He's trying to chase after Freeze, who's up there with FY, but it won't matter if MP goes straight through the mid. The bottom lane's already pressured in. He doesn't even have to wait. That's why the Wolves are attacking into the range. But it's Invoker being brought down by Freeze. The damage with the Magnetize, it may almost be enough. Freeze will actually get the kill on this. Followed with Laguna Blade into Puppey. It almost feels like a consolation prize. With the push down, Freeze's attack will follow through. The mid racks was mopped up. But that's some really good money in for Freeze. 711 for the kill on mid one and 391 for the kill on Puppey.
Wow, it's crazy how hard Lina right clicks without the plus 50 damage talent. Like, he chucked down that Invoker in a double stun combo.
You can see it building into the damage now. It's the Daedalus. Yeah. It's not even Bloodthorn, it's just like straight up Daedalus.
FY attempting to slow them down. They have no lockdown for FY, so he's just able to...
Rolling Boulder up. That's a double damage Lycan. Ghost just to play around with him, jumps forward once again, and the Stampede, he actually baited that one out. So VGJ, this is the best opportunity they have just to swipe out Roshan from underneath Team Secret. Aggressive is on his way over too. With no Invoker, no buyback on him, they should have this. But Lycan Wolves always pesky. They're the Gem of True Sight's on the Earth Spirit.
It's too low to leave, but if you stay too long, Invoker's going to be here. VGJ, how are you going to tackle this? 10 seconds left on Invoker,
Wolf
but
is back.
no Stampede?
Yeah, shards will fly through. Roshan still low, but not low enough for them to find the kill. FY creates a great buff for keeping Keizu away, so he cannot blink forward. So VGJ, but Keizu, there's your double blink. Global Silence comes out, so VGJ, they lose a big ultimate. And they have to retreat. Force off and run. And without Global Silence, Aggressive. Ice Wall kicks in. He has to rage and again retreat. But Team Secret, they ping out. They want to go top lane. The tier 2 tower is the next target. Is this really the efficiency? FY denies his tier 4 towers.
Tough call. Diffusal on Lycan. Needs to deal with Ghost Scepters. Not terribly surprising for him. Just need to make sure this little ghoul can attack people.
Oh, there's your jump. This is a big one, Aggressive. Aegis the Immortal. It doesn't last long. And Team Secret didn't have to really commit a lot for that one. And Aggressive is stuck in an ultimate freeze. Both the shards as well as the ice wall. But Rage is a beautiful thing. Allows him to escape.
But that was a Aegis for nothing. No ultimates used, no big cooldowns at all. And now you're faced with the high ground defense. There are 3 shrines left for VGJ. They may be able to take the fight with this, but there's what? Wow, one of them's not even active. That's really bad. They need everything they can muster for this.
It comes off cooldown now. So they do have 3, and they actually just triggered the mid one to get FY some mana. Just got to keep our eyes on the buybacks. Legion as well as Earthspirit are the only ones who currently have buybacks for VGJ. Everyone else is just short by about 800.
And now the Centaur has Ags, though. So during the duel, I do not think he can win a duel. Even on a support,
Is that when you just change
really hard.
RTK to be that control factor?
Who do you control, though? Like, if you're using LC for control, that's not what the hero's supposed to do. He's supposed to be able to kill people. He only has 58 duel damage. Not that much, but when you have to deal with stuff like Snowball, Sigil, Solar Crest, he doesn't have that many opportunities for
Moments
kills.
like this, Readiness he just scanned out. They hit mid one, but only mid one. Probably thinking the rest of Team Secret is behind him.
It's really hard to jump in one, especially without a BKB up on the LC. Like,
Freeze.
Damage.
Patience. Patience. The Wolves are coming in. He's not Invis. The Sunstrike's right in the money. Hoof Stomp as well. This is real trouble. The Lina flipped up and she'll go down 30 seconds. Only her death time, thanks to the negative 30 seconds respawn time.
yeah, I think definitely worth it for him to take the respawn talent this game. He's died a fair amount, and the times that he's died, I think it's been really important that he can come back to the fight very, very quickly.
They're trying to create a little bit more space for FY to farm. He's looking for Observe Wards at the moment, but he's 400 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, Acceptor will be actually pretty important. I think they can save the Lifestealer, because a lot of these Fight Secret are just all inning on the Lifestealer, and even the press attack might not be enough to save him. So if you can just casually pull him back with Geomagnetic Grip or turn him into stone, it's going to be pretty good for aggressive.
Yep.
He just needs to be able to latch on to people. That's what Lifestealers love doing. Just latch on, kill a support, move on. Keep lifestealing. But he can't do that.
What are you up to, Team Secret? Like, they want to push in through the top. Just the last lane of ranks and force out Megas. You still have the ability to defend from VGJ. It's not the greatest clearance in the world, but they got enough sustain to do it.
They just need to make sure they don't lose a big hero like Invoker. If Invoker gets dueled and dies in the duel, they are going to be in like a really, really tough spot.
You can see him even building kiting items. Like, he's going to go in for the Hurricane Pike. Even 40 minutes in, when he's already feeling pretty max slotted, he's going to go for Hurricane.
They just need to kite the Lifestealer. If Lifestealer doesn't do any damage, they will win the fight easily. Because he's by far their most significant source of damage in the fight.
But Team Secret aren't finding the opportunity yet. All they're seeing is RTK. And RTK just got his BKB. So a little bit of a harder target for them to initiate on.
Yep, definitely so. They still respect the duel in Fest Bomb too, because anyone can still die to that. Even the Invoker with like Lincoln's BKB, you can easily just get blink halberded and dueled in a matter of like half a second and just die if you're slightly too slow with fingers, or if you just get global, you'll still die. So it's something that they should respect. If they had the Aegis, I'm pretty sure they would go high ground right now, but without it, they just do not feel confident in their position to not throw the game with the high ground push.
I'll have to wait another 3 potential minutes before they can go for Roshan.
It's all good though, that's cheese.
That's, yeah. Stampede, bottom lane. Again, they look for Freeze. The Sunstrike won't hit his money, as the BKB will protect Freeze. FY also in the neighborhood. But that's the BKB down.
Oh, Arcane Rune Wolf. It's like Perma Wolf almost. Nice. That's pretty low. I like, you
No,
can do
FY. What did you guess? He found Tusker. Snowball forward, rolling boulder back out again. Aggressive wants something here, but the sigil is out from Puppy. The shards. FY will rolling boulder up. Aggressive. He's got just enough movement speed to get back to the tier 4 towers, but up on top, that's where your battle is. RTK down for 71 seconds. The BKB was triggered, but mid one's just too strong. The global silence is out. Team Secret a little bit deep inside the base, but I don't think MP really cares. He's munching on Fenrir underneath the tier 4 towers. Turns his attention towards FY. Diffuser Blade taking off the ghost after FY with just enough life. He'll get back, but GG is already called from RTK. This game is done and dusted. Team Secret will take their first game of the Kiev Major out 2-0.
their team fight was just a lot better, and I think they are exceptionally good about playing around mid one. Secret.